My name is Ian Lodge of the Nature Trust of New Brunswick, and we are here at the Mapleton Acadian Forest Nature Preserve in Elgin, New Brunswick, and we're looking for mushrooms. Let's go. This is one of the Amanita family, almost all of which are very poisonous. You can tell it's an Amanita by the scales that are growing on the top of the mushroom, as well as there's normally, but not on this one of course, a veil or a skirt that grows on the stalk. These are called scaly vase chanterelles. They are not related to chanterelles that people like to eat. And warning, they are poisonous. Definitely ones to look out for when hunting for chanterelles. You can tell the difference in the gills. These have true ones, whereas a chanterelle is more of a wrinkled surface, and they're hollow down through the center, which a chanterelle would not be. Beech bark disease, as seen on this young tree here, is rapidly changing beech trees in northeastern forests. Beech bark disease is actually a combination of two things. It's a non-native insect, an invasive insect, and a native fungus. So what's happening is the fungus was always here and infected a small portion of beech trees, and then this invasive insect came in, which likes to make holes in the beech tree's bark, and the fungus gets in the tree easier, and so the fungus has spread quite rapidly since this insect has come here, resulting in excessive beech bark. A lot of people don't know that lichens, like this lungwort here, is actually a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. These have a few different names: reishi, varnish shelf, or hemlock conch. They grow on dead hemlock trees and historically have been prized as a medicinal mushroom by Asian communities. They're normally much shinier than red than this. This is a red belted polypore. It really goes to show that the polypore family is very wide and ranging from what we've seen so far. This is a ruby rosula, which is a term that refers to probably hundreds of different species that look almost identical. You would need to use a hand lens or a spore print to really be able to tell what species this is exactly. So these are lobster mushrooms. These are a really neat mushroom because it's actually a mushroom on a mushroom. You can actually see the difference between the two here. So what it is it's a infecting one that grows on one of two species, either the rosulas or lactariuses, and it turns them into these like orange, smooth, neat little ones, from what you can see on this one here, which would have a gill surface. You can actually see this one kind of is half rosula and half lobster mushroom. Once they get full orange like this, they actually, people say they actually smell like seafood. Have a sniff. These, growing on this very sick beech tree, are turkey tails. They are another of the polypore family that tend to grow on dead or dying wood. A lot of people would recognize them as the mushroom that grows on your firewood. So this is a polypore. They're a common type of mushroom that's found on all different kinds of trees with thousands of different species, but this is a special one. This is called an artist's conch, and that is named that because this undersurface of the mushroom you can easily draw on just by tracing your fingernail. So this is chaga, or rather it was chaga. This black material is actually the mycelium that grows on the external part of this yellow birch tree. It grows almost exclusively on birch trees. You see here that somebody has used a hatchet or an axe to dig all the chaga out of the tree. It's a very unsustainable chaga harvesting practice. It's very harmful for the tree. If you were to be harvesting chaga, a better approach would be to take a saw or just to knock off what is external from the bark of the tree and not to dig into the tree. So this is also a mushroom. Doesn't really look like it, but this is what they'd call a parchment fungus. It's in the slime mold family, which you often see on dead and dying trees or on decaying material on the ground. So this is a bolete. You would call this a scaber stalk, as you can see from all these little black scabers that grow on the stalk. You can tell a bolete is in the bolete family because instead of having gills like a regular mushroom, this has a pore surface right here that you can kind of take apart. Very different. There's lots of different kinds of boletes, and they all have this pore surface on them. So this mushroom here, this is called a tinder conch. They name it that because it is quite dry inside and it's able to be used to start fires. The story with this one is, you've heard of Uzi the Iceman, which is the Neanderthal guy they found frozen in ice. He had these on his necklace that they assume he was probably using to start fires.